Fine. So in today's session, we are going to understand async and await. Remember that it is extension to the promises. What I'm saying, it is extension to the promises. Promises, whenever you change the promises, you need to write a lot of code. Just a minute. You need to write a lot of code. Okay. Now here I have created promise, and here we can say here again function first parameter resolve success, and this function would be getting called after this. So we created the promise. We created what? Promise. So how do you work with this promise? PRM dot then, right? This is the traditional approach we are following. PRM dot then str and console.log str, or here you can say PRM dot catch. Correct? Or instead of writing this separately, you can straight away write over here like this.
Yes.
This is called as chaining, and this chaining can cause a lot of code. Can you see? You need to write a lot of code, and that code might not be understandable to you. Console.log err. Now, how do you write same function? How do you write same function in more understandable way? So you have written promise over here, then do this thing or catch this thing. So this can be written in more better way, and that is nothing but what the promise. So here one new keyword would be getting there, async function. Here we can say handle async op. Handle async operation. Okay, and const str is equals to, now see, await your promise PRM. That's it. So this much line of code is exactly equals to what? This much line of code. There is no error handling over here. For error handling, we will use try catch. You can paste that code over here. You can paste that code over here like this, and console.log error. Which one is understandable? This one. So see the syntax: new promise, resolve reject, set timeout 100. Here you can say then str console.log catch. So instead you to write this much code, you can write a straight code over here. You can write what? A straight code over here. Okay.
Yes, sir. But when used for the const PRM new promise, this line.
That you will write all the time. So you will create the promise, but instead of these two lines,
Okay. That.
instead of these two lines, this is important. So let's create the document. Async await. So when you talk about the async await, what is exactly async await? Is a syntactic sugar built on top of promises to further simplify asynchronous code, making it resemble to the synchronous code. right? So this code will look like synchronous code. You getting my point?
Yes.
This will look like you are writing a synchronous code, but it is not synchronous code. The async keyword and await keyword make it asynchronous. Remember that this is the promise object. Instead you to write then block,
Yes.
instead you to write this then and catch, your promise can be handled in this way. Instead of writing this then and catch, you can write straight code in this way. Okay. Now, why do you use this? Why do you use this? Here you can say synchronous like code. First advantage. Error handling, understandable error handling, sequential execution, and that's it. So whenever you write the code in the async await, that is nothing but what you can say promises underlying.
Yes.
So here allows developers to write the asynchronous code in a more sequential and the synchronous looking style. Error handling can be done using the try catch block that we already have studied. Error handling is done using the standard try catch blocks, enhancing the readability and the maintainability. The flow of the control is more intuitive, making it easier to follow and reason about the code. Means you will understand this code more precisely than this code, right? What is happening exactly. But remember that here you need a promise object. After the await, you need promise object. Okay. So here handle async operation. So I can say let's have this promise. Let's have this promise. Let's have this. Sorry, let's not do here. Synchronous coding. Okay, here we can say code this promise object we have, and then async await we have written like this, right?
Yes.
We have written async object like this. Just a minute. Okay. Now, promises, sorry, async await are underlying promises. Remember that. Async await underlying promises. Async awaits. Async await is built on the top of promises. Remember that async await is built on the top of promises. Asynchronous function mark with the asynchronous functions. See here. Asynchronous functions mark with the asynchronous functions mark with the async keyword. The functions, asynchronous functions which are marked with the async keyword always return a promise, and await keyword is used for the resolution of the promise. Let's take an example. So here we have async keyword and async function say hi, and say return whatever you return over here, say hello async. Now if you call say hi directly over here, can you see what is the return type of say hi? Is a promise. Dot then and dot catch you can write like this. So when you say async, when you attach this async, underlying it is a promise, right? str, here you can say console.log str error and console.log, just to show you, demonstrate you that async functions returns, though you have written simple string over here, internally it would be what? Promise.
Yes.
Async functions always return the promises. Asynchronous function marked with the async keyword always return a promise, and then await keyword is used to wait for the resolution of the promise, and await keyword is used to wait the resolution of the promise. So you can write something like this also, async. Remember that await keyword needs to be written always inside async keyword. You cannot write await directly over here, right? Await say hi, you cannot write something like this. Now if you run this project, okay, cd dot node, can you see await is only valid in a async function and the top level bodies of all the modules. You cannot write await like this. But if you say async function hi or call hi, then const str is equals to await say hi, and here you can say console.log str. Correct? Just comment this line. Well, we need to call hi like this. Can you see hello async? It is printing this hello async. You getting my point?
Yes.
It is printing what? This
Async.
hello async. So instead you to write this code, instead you to write what? This code, you may choose to write simple function. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Sir, await function, await keyword is like extend.
No, it is a keyword which is used for the resolution of the promises. You getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
It is used in catch.
correct. I will write that code. Now, let me create new file. App. I'm sorry, I'm getting some calls from client.
Yes.
Fine. So async function, async function call or connect to DB. Connect to DB. And here we can say some code const const is success math dot random into, or if it is greater than 0.5, math dot random will return a number
Yes.
which is from 0.0 to 0.1. If that number is greater than 0.5, it is true. So here we can say some operation status, nothing fancy. If it is success, then return connected to DB. Connected to DB. Connected to DB successfully. See how to, I'm giving you example. How do you write the function? So same thing you can do in a promise. Instead of that, I'm showing you over here, otherwise return or otherwise throw new error. Problem in connectivity. Problem in connecting to DB. Now see, this is called as resolving success. This is similar to resolve, calling resolve, and this is similar to calling reject. Now how do you do this? How do you do this? Remember that async functions always return promises. So either you can go ahead and write something like this, both the things are correct. Connect to db dot, then connect to db dot, then here we can say str console.log str, this which will give you this, right?
Yes.
Then catch error console.log error, correct?
Yes.
So 02, can you see there is a problem, error in connecting db, because random, it might generate any number from 0.0 to 1.0. It will generate any number from 0.0 to 1.0, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's why it's not in our hand what to be getting printed. It might be generating again. Yeah, can you see now connected to db successfully?
Yes.
So it is resolving, means success and the error.
Yes.
Or you can write, I'm commenting this code, or you can write await call,
Yes.
right? Async
Yes.
function start. Async function what? Start. And then here you can say const await, const
Yes.
str is equals to
And
await
to DP.
await connect to db. This function we need to call await what? Connect to db. And you can write this in the try catch. You can write this guy in a try catch, and console.log error, console.log error, and simply call start like this. Okay, we didn't print it, right?
Yes.
We didn't print it actually.
There is, yes.
str, right? It's not in our hand what is happening internally. Yeah, see here, there is an error now. So this line has been printed,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, sir.
So that is because this, see here, we didn't even write a promise. This can be written in a promise. This can be consumed in the way we have consumed for the promises, or you can do something like this. What I wanted to show you, underlying everything is a promise. Underlying everything is a what?
Promise.
Promise. So here we can write a code. So app01, this can be underlying promises. So this is the code. So this is the code. So this can be rewritten as a promise also, right? So we don't have that code. Yeah. So instead of this, we can say return hi. Same can be written like this, async function, say hi, and return what? Return hi. Correct? Underlying promises. So below code shows use of promises can be replaced with async function. Now here this code, error handling, more detailed code. Here we can say like this, and like this. Either you can do something like this or like this.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now in the promises, we have seen the chaining of the promises. Right? Similarly, you can do chaining like this. Underlying everything is promise, okay? Just a minute. Then h1, a sync keyword. Well, not necessary actually, because we have seen await keyword. So the async keyword is used to declare the function asynchronous, that is returns the promise. In the JavaScript, whatever you say is asynchronous, remember that it returns the promise. Await keyword, inside async function, the await keyword is used to pause the execution of the function until promise is settled. Settling the promise can be two things, either fulfilled or rejected. H1, chaining. Chaining. New. It's a promises only, right? You by now you might have understood these are nothing but what? Promises only.
Yes.
Nothing fancy. So async function. Well, now I will do something else. Const operation 1 is equals to async, and here I can write arrow function also.
Yes.
And from here I am returning success, or here we can say DB connection successful, opt to writing to log file, opt3 erasing the logs. Now we can write async function, perform one and same, perform ops. Now here const str1 st1 is equals to await op1. Await what? Await has no effect in this type of expression. Why? Call is missing, right?
Yes.
Const st2 is nothing but what? op2. Well, it's not exactly chaining. It's not exactly chaining, but return op1. Here return what? op2. Return what? op2. So here simply you need to call op1. So here simply you need to call what? op3. Can you see that?
Sir, but OP2 is calling OP1
Yeah,
and OP3 is calling OP2. That means same as OP1.
Correct. Chaining. app03. We didn't call the function. Perform
OPS.
ops. Can you see DB connection successful? Right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. This is about what the chaining is.
Yes.
Like this. Fine then. So this is all it for the day. From tomorrow, we will start React. That is nothing but what? First module of the React is understanding DOM manipulation.
Yes.
So from tomorrow, we'll start what? DOM manipulation.
DOM. Yes.
Yeah. JavaScript Async await. I hope you have completed the homeworks. We'll check tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.